Welcome to the new 2015 Land Rover Discovery Sport, a car that replaces the Freelander and provides a new entry level to the Land Rover brand. Now, Land Rover itself has been divided up into three now. You've got the very plush Range Rover range, you've got the working family car in the Discovery range, and the new Defender range, which will surface sometime very soon. Will be more hardcore off-roaders like its namesake, the Defender model. Each of these cars no longer actually have Land Rover tattooed to the front of them. They possess a Land Rover badge, but they don't actually have the Land Rover bold type on its nose. As I said, this is the Discovery Sport, currently the second in the Discovery family. You have the full-fat Discovery, which we've road tested, and there'll be a link to around here somewhere. A very, very capable machine off-road. We absolutely love it, and it has to be one of our favourite cars that the brand produces. This Discovery Sport is a 7-seater SUV, maybe not quite so hardcore off-road, but it really does retain those Land Rover traits. More on that later. So this car specifically is the Land Rover Discovery Sport SE Tech. It's a mid-spec car, and what we have is sort of this part leather interior. This specific car is just over £34,000, which makes it more expensive than its competitors, but then it does wear that very desirable Land Rover badge, and so you will pay a premium. Big differences between this and the Freelander: the huge step up in interior architecture. You only have to look at the door panels to see that they're sculpted and they have, okay, this faux aluminium on them, but it looks expensive. Everything in the cabin is soft touch, it feels durable as well. Buttons aren't dainty little things, they're quite chunky, but they feel durable, which is exactly how a Land Rover should be. It should always feel, regardless of what guise it takes on, it should always feel like a car that could take a beating. And this car will take a beating because it comes with 7 seats as standard, meaning the whole family can come along for the ride. Up front there's plenty of space, it's nice and comfortable. Good adjustability in the steering wheel and the seat, meaning you can find a good driving position quite easily. Middle row, there's plenty of space, and those middle seats actually deserve some praise, because not only do they recline, but they slide backwards and forwards as well. The 2 back seats that fold up out of the floor are only really suitable for children or adults on short journeys. That said, they do have cup holders back there, so kids, won't be left in sort of effectively just the boot space. They have, like I say, cup holders. There's a nice little window there to let in plenty of natural light. And on the whole, the car is a fantastically usable space. You can fold all the seats down, you've got almost class leading space, you've got plenty of boot room whenever you're just using it as a 5-seater car. Really, really great family appliance, this car. And equally stands toe-to-toe with competitors such as the BMW X3, though the X3 doesn't have 7 seats. Okay, so what's it like to drive? This car has a 2.2 litre diesel with 187 brake horsepower. It's responsive, there's plenty of torque low down, which is exactly what this sort of car needs, and with permanent all-wheel drive and a lockable differential, it has plenty of potential both on and off-road. If we stick with on-road first, low speeds, the engine is maybe a little bit harsher than what you'd expect. It's not one of these new engines. There is a new engine range coming into this car, shared with the Jaguar XE, and we expect better fuel economy from those engines and slightly more in terms of refinement. The car currently, as I've been driving in combined conditions, has been getting about 35 mpg or so, which isn't great, and the CO2 figures for this engine aren't class leading either. However, those new engines are coming very soon, and we reserve judgment for those. In terms of driving itself, it is a lovely car. It really is very, very good. I know there's been some gripes about this 6-speed manual transmission. There is a ZF auto gearbox that you can option in it. Personally, I don't think it's too bad. Yeah, the throw is a little bit long, but I mean, this isn't a sports car. We're not looking for snick gear changes. I think it's perfectly adequate for the job. Driving experience in general, on the motorway it is pleasantly refined. Though I say the diesel engine was a little bit gruff at low speeds, it really does settle down at higher speeds. Going around corners, there's a little bit of body roll. It's a tall car, it's going to have some body roll. But once the initial sort of lean is out of the way, there is loads and loads of grip, and really you have to be charging quite hard into a corner before you start provoking any form of understeer. In terms of ride, well, the clue is in the name, Discovery Sport. It's not the most cosseting ride at low speeds, but then I'd hardly say it's the most uncomfortable either. Let's just say it's not quite as comfortable as what you'd expect it to be, but it's not enough to be a pain in the arse. That's the best way I could sum it up. But then obviously the trade-off is that the car handles really well. Now, let's talk about off-road, because let's remember this is a Land Rover after all, and despite being chic and good-looking and you know, just as smart as any other product in the portfolio at the moment, does it still have the traits of its bigger brother, the full-fat Discovery? Well, I'm pleased to say yes. We have a terrain response system down here that you can cycle through, giving you various options for loose gravel or sand, muddy ruts, etc. You program the computer. You've even got hill descent, actually, I've just glanced upon. Hill descent control is very good. If you're coming down a steep hill, the car will keep itself at a set speed. But you tell the computer what you want and it works out the rest. Like I say, there's a locking differential in the centre, and it really is a very capable off-roader. Okay, the Discovery with its air suspension probably is the better alternative off-road, but to be perfectly honest, for people doing a casual bit of off-roading, the Discovery Sport is really very good. Overall verdict of this all-new car? I like it. I really like it a lot. Lovely, pleasant car to drive. So many people have a look at it whenever it's going by. Really distinctive design elements. So many people actually, even in supermarkets, have stopped to ask me about the car. It's versatile, it's practical, it's nice to drive. It could be a bit better on fuel. Those new engines hopefully should rectify that. But overall, it really is a very pleasant car, and to be perfectly honest, I don't want to give it back.